Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. OCG Metagame breakdown for, well, half of January, late January 2021. So the first OCG Metagame breakdown for the channel, I guess, for 2021. If I'm not mistaken, I waited for this, the OCG, well, got their new ban list. Well, it has been, into effect starting January 1st, if I'm not mistaken. So a couple of weeks, again, to refresh our memories, most notable cards going to, well, one or getting banned, only one being Grinder Golem. A couple of limited cards like Nadir, one of the powerful spells, I guess, for the Invoked / Dogmatica deck. Well, Dogmatica mainly, right? Other stuff like Pancratops, for example, and Firewall Dragon got the errata and went back to 1. That's important because, well, one of the new archetypes aligning Overdrive being the Ignister archetype definitely can use Firewall Dragon with the errata in their main deck. Other notable cards, not really, well, maybe Cursed Outland, because we have seen that, Eldritch was strong a couple of weeks ago, but, it took some hits as well, and of course, newer archetypes and the decks also entered the OCG. Also, Fossil Dictor Guard Darkweather, that was basically it. So, let's start off with Road of the King. The video will be a bit shorter compared to usual, but I think I can, go into detail, well, like 100%. So I think this is just fine to give you a glimpse of the current OCG format. Most notable, again, Lightning Overdrive has been released in the OCG. Most notable cards like, the Pendulum Upstart for Domain Monarchs, which one I mean. Ignister, new Ignister cards as well, which of course was needed with the new Firewall Dragon. Have a deck profile ready for that. Outside of that, maybe the Scrap Raptor, there are some combos and some FTKs as well. Not sure how consistent that is, but, well, the FTK that is, but the OTK are, we've seen that Scrap Raptor definitely has potential, right? So let's dive into the OCG Metagame breakdown from Road of the King. Half of January reports 72 top performing decks, right? 13 different tournaments all over Japan, China, Taiwan. This is their breakdown, right? And a couple of notable things is that even though Maxi is still powerful, banned in the TCG, Virtual World is taking the lead, and quickly followed by Drytron. And we all know why. Drytron was still there, and it's very weak to Maxi. But they got their new Exceed monster, Fafnir, their Foolish Burial, Negation, which one I mean. We'll come back to that in a couple of moments. Zodiac as well, still going strong, and then a lot of other decks, right, like, Eldritch, Ignister as well, and a lot of others, about 19%. So let's zoom in into the first list, and that's Virtual World. Any notable differences compared to a couple of weeks ago? No, not really. We see the maximum amount of Crossout Designator. Who knows when we might get in a TCG, but it's so important, right? The super hand trap heavy formats are still there. We also see the new, it's not really new for the OCG, but the other Virtual World trap in the main deck. But outside of that, the most notable thing, I guess, and that's something that Road of the King also mentions, is the side deck skill drain, which, could be important against your opponent, obviously, and just in case you're able to destroy your own skill drain as well with your own Virtual World trap. So that's a thing. Why wouldn't you? The second list is Drytron, and here are some big brains, alive. And the thing is that currently we don't know in a TCG when we are getting the Diviner Herald, the level 2 that has it's basically a Manju, I guess. It's also a tuner, so it might be a superior. But the most notable is that the Diviner gives the OCG variant, I guess, a big advantage, that it can send like the Herald from your extra deck to the graveyard to get like a search, bump itself up to level 6, and it opens up a potential Beatrice play with Ben 10. And that's strong. That's super strong, and that's something that, again, we in a TCG don't know, if I'm not mistaken, when we are getting that one. But we see that Eva at double or at 2 here in the deck, the low amount of only 8 different, 8 Drytron cards, right, the Drytron monsters. But and that's, we've seen, even though the Fafnir new Exceed is allowed, we are not seeing the in-themed ritual monsters for Drytron. Why should you? Because again, Ben 10 at 3. We've seen the shenanigans of the other, Cyber Angel Natasha. It's ridiculous. It's not once per turn. And yeah, the Herald, right? I mean, the level 10, if not mistaken, negations. it's just a bit better, even though the Fafnir Exceeds does give you the beneficial potential negates, but you need to control, I believe, like a machine ritual monster on your side of the field. So, well, long story short, like their Drytron in themed ritual monster. But why would you? At the moment, with triple Benten, I indeed don't see a point. Double pot of disparity or prosperity, I believe it's called now in a TCG also. But again, a pretty straightforward build. The thing is that, and that's something that Road to the King also mentions, two things, is that first of all, with the addition of the Drytron Exceed, the deck is just far more consistent. One is enough. The Zeus package is still in there with you know, the other rank 1, the Akasha, no, the rank 4 main phase 2 overlay, and then go for Zeus to have some potential interruption during your opponent's turn. And second, this is a nice big brain play, is using Union Carrier, and I'm looking at the side deck, the B Buster. You know, Union Carrier to make your Vanity's ruler unaffected by your opponent's spells. And that's quite ridiculous, because again, the most notable counters to Vanity's ruler are, let's say, Dark Ruler No More, which is indeed side decked, Forbidden Droplet, which is indeed either main or side decked, and you know, Buster Break just says no, nope, unaffected by spells, which is basically game against most decks if, you know, Vanity's ruler alone isn't the game already. Probably not, especially, well, maybe if it's, you know, like accompanied by the Herald on your side of the field also, but pretty disgusting, right? Last but not least, Zodiacs as well. We've seen, you know, like, and that's something that the Road to the King also mentions, is that running so many hand traps to prevent the Vanity's ruler from coming out. Again, Vanity's ruler equipped with B-Buster Drake is just like so strong. Like, it makes your Dark Rule No More and Forbidden Droplet like useless. You see triple Zeus here in the extra deck also, but outside of that, nothing too different, right? The Book of Moon is something we've seen before, because again, it's very versatile. Then, something that Road to the King also mentions is, of course, AI, well, Ignister, right? We've seen Ignisters, they got more support in Lightning Overdrive, and the deck is actually quite good. I'm not lying, it got more support. Their Link 1 is fantastic, searches the field spell, let alone, you know, Firewall Dragon going back with the Errata, but, you know, like Ignister, Cyber's archetype. No Parallel Exceed in the main deck, if I'm not mistaken, but you know why, Maxi is still there, but nonetheless, I feel that Ignister definitely has potential, but it needs more time. And who knows, when we are getting it in a TCG, we don't have Maxi Leo. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Let's move on to list ready. We see Sky Strikers also, and things still baffle me that, yeah, they still have Engage at 2. Who knows? Probably not, right? And last but not least, we see Pranket's Thunder, but again, they still have 1 Colossus. We in a TCG don't. We've seen like Thunder Prankets coming up. I believe it was last week on one of the remote tools. Not sure. Yeah, I think I've seen the list. But yeah, we don't have Colossus, right? That's one of the one less boss monster, I guess. And you know, back when we had Colossus available with Prankets, that was indeed quite ridiculous with that Thunder Pranket, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. So for the Road of the King and oh well, yeah, like the whole OCG metagame, like Eldritch Decline, but we see that Virtual World and the Drytron are fighting it out between each other. But I feel that Drytron might take the top spot over Virtual World soon, but who knows. But Ignister, don't count out that deck just yet. You know, people might just need more time to play test around. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.